Hey, hey, man.
Hey, mama.
Hey, mama. For everybody who don't know, this is my
Isn't that cute doing the countdown? What up, though? What's
oh
going
man,
on? We three kings in the building. Of course, hey, we missed you guys, man. We had to take a little hiatus, man. Get our health and our minds right. You know, this COVID situation has been dire on our family, so we had to take a little bit of a break to get some things under control. Of course, everybody know the situations going on with this COVID situation, and it's spreading and it's causing a little bit of hiccups in people's plans, and so basically, we're glad to be back. King, man, what's up, man?
man, glad to be back. Glad to have that monster out of my household, man. And I see you in here, James. Say you just got a notification finally. It's
About
good,
time.
brother. But yeah, man, a lot of interesting things been going on over this last week or two. So in
Of
the
course.
sports world, so we got a lot to talk about today, man.
Let's get into it. Well, first things first, man. Let's talk about this Lions victory today. There was season finale. Of course, we was going up against the mighty Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Of course, first half, Aaron Rodgers played the first half, and second half they handed over to Jordan Love. But watching the game, the first half, the Lions held their own. Actually, came out the first half with the lead. You saw some things, from Campbell. He's going to be a risk taker. Went for it on fourth down, didn't make it, but
Got
uh,
to catch the ball, Iggy.
right. But it was a good coverage, though. It was a good coverage. It was a hard catch with that coverage. But coming back, even with them, coming back down and scoring that Green Bay did, the Lions they kept that in. Like I said, throwing a little wrinkle in there with the trickery, which is something that and in this time it's a good thing to do. It's not the thing that I like about Dan Campbell is like he knows what he got, and what he got isn't enough. So I'm gonna have to do some things, and why not risk it? What else do you have to lose by not going that route and taking those chances? And it turned out well for the Lions today. Oh man, shout out to St. Brown today, man. He looked amazing.
Smart.
Looking forward to what we're going to see for him in the future, and also a lot of other players. Barnes, Harris on defense, McNeil. Uh, Aquarov. You see him after a while.
You're right.
So just looking at the guys that's we seen contributing today, they're young. They're some of the guys that we just received now. Looking at what the Lions, the guys that have been making playmakers, a lot of them came out of this draft. So shout out to GM for
Yeah.
the draft position because that draft has shown some that they can participate and be a part of this organization. And watching this game today, of course, it took us out of the first overall pick, which to me, it's okay because whichever I don't think with the second pick we can't
Can't
it's
go.
not can't go wrong in my opinion. Can't go wrong whatever we pick at that pick, whether it be Thibodeau, whether it be Hutchinson. We can't, in my opinion. Preferably I would like to have Hutchinson, but I'm not going to knock if they go with the Thibodeau because, like I said, you can't go wrong with either one of those guys because they're going to be an addition to what we got going on, and just the feeling, even after this losing season, is different than any other losing season that we had before when it came to that rebuilding, um, rebuilding of the program that we've been through several times with the Lions. This one feels different,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you don't feel the same way, King.
Oh,
You can speak on it if you like. It's like, does
absolutely.
it feel different to you?
Oh, yes. Most definitely different, man. I try to explain that a lot to people. I know we've been in these type of situations before, but this is different. This is totally different. This situation for Brad Holmes is he has a great opportunity, a really great opportunity with this upcoming draft and free agency to switch things around real fast because, like I said, you got some teams in our division that's not going to fare too well maybe in the future, being Green Bay and the Aaron Rodgers situation.
Hmm.
We've seen how much value there is there for Love. So, um, also with the Bears needing a coach and get some things together over there, it's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting, man. And today, the effort is the same as it's been, man. Dan Campbell walked in here. He walked to the podium. He said, we gonna take a hit and we're gonna get up and we're gonna take a kneecap on the way. And that's how this season really has been. Even though we didn't have a winning season, man, this team, the way they fought and the personality that this team has, we have a culture once again here in
Right.
Detroit with this team. So it's super important. And like I said, I think, man, once we do plug in some studs, some stars, we can definitely flip this thing around, go from worst to maybe first or second in our division, man.
Correct, correct. And that's something that, that definitely I want to get into because it is a great opportunity for us going into next season, just based off the fact that I believe we're the only team in the division that has a solidified direction. Like you said, in Green Bay, you don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do.
Yeah,
In Chicago, they still got to solidify that QB situation as well as coaching situation because they're not sure they're going to retain him or not. Zimmer, he may be on the blocks over there in Minnesota, and they also may have questions at the quarterback position too.
right.
So there's a lot of questions with the other teams in the NFC North Division that we are going in a direction that we know what we need to handle. The thing that I like seeing the most with going on throughout the season is less and less mistakes the Lions have made. Like this game wasn't a bad game to watch because it was practically a mistake-free game. I believe there may have been like 2 to 3 penalties on the Lions today, and even those penalties it didn't cost them like it usually would in throughout the season. It wasn't sloppy play. These guys went out there, they played their positions, they played their positions hard and well, and look disciplined. It didn't look all over the place. And that's the natural progression you would like to see starting off from the beginning of the season and going to this end of the season and the season finale and ending the season finale with the victory over the Green Bay Packers, which is always a good thing to end your season out on a division rival and a win. Even if Aaron Rodgers only played half the the game, it's
Right.
still we won that half that he did play.
Oh yeah,
You
we
know,
definitely want to have.
so
And
so most definitely
I
it's
don't think we let up either.
exactly. So it does leave, for the got the Lions fans that we are and the Lions fans that's, in our broadcast and all over. If you get a sense of feeling like, okay, yeah, we know this is a bad season. Or we've been harping and we've been hitting and we've been downing the Lions and we've seen the worst of the Lions this season. But over the last several weeks, we seeing progress, and it gives us hope that yeah, if they're Campbell it has brought in a change of the culture, in my opinion. The way
Yeah,
things were before, just because he's a risk taker. We haven't had that type of coach here in a while that's willing to take risks, knowing that okay, we need to take risks just to give us an opportunity to win the game.
yeah,
And
man.
so it's definitely a breath of fresh air with that. And like I say, it gives us hope going into next season. Also, there's word that they're going to be parting ways with Anthony Lynn, the offensive coordinator. I'm a little mixed by that. I thought Anthony Lynn, if he had got the right type of players in, I think his system would have been a lot better. But I believe with Dan Campbell, taking more of a role into, calling the offense. And honestly, with him doing that, the offense did look, a lot better. And Goff did play a lot better. I can see maybe he wants somebody that will go in his direction as far as like the offensive coordinator goes. But I wish Anthony Lynn all the best. I wish, it would have worked out for him because I think he would have been a credible offensive coordinator for the Lions. But of course, there's Aaron Glenn. He's not going nowhere on
Oh,
defense.
The
You
only
know
only threat that we have to worry about for him in the future is a team poaching him away from us. That's about it. But he,
that is true, but it won't be after this season. Now, I believe. Well, I think he will get some looks just based off the fact of how many coaches are going to be let go come tomorrow. Monday's usually when they start the firing brigade. So
right,
we'll look to see that, but I believe he will get some. He's going to get some nods at or get some looks at in the coaching carousel.
yeah, most definitely, man. They, like I said, the him taking over mid-season from Anthony Lynn. Let's just get it out there. I'm not the biggest Anthony Lynn fan. I felt like he failed to adapt to the new type of NFL that we play in today. I feel like he's stuck in the 90s somewhere with his offense. Um, but, taking the playbook from him mid-season and, watching the Lions over the last 4 to 5 games, the offense just is just looked consistently better. It just has. It's no way around it. I don't love to see no man, lose their job, but like I said, if we're getting this type of production with him play calling right now, what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was absolutely not happy beforehand. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Some people may say we might need to bring in this guy and that guy for coordinator. Like I said, we got the carousel coming up. Whatever Dan Campbell decides to do, I'm gonna stick behind it now. What I'm saying? This man from the beginning of the season, he had to show me some things. What I'm saying? To make me get behind him. And he's shown me enough of those things. Even though when they've done stuff, me, myself, and the fan base, we went crazy. Like, what is he doing? Or this, that,
Mhm.
and the third. Listen, they know what they're doing, so I'm gonna get behind them, and I'm gonna let him do his thing, man.
And also got to remember that he's also a rookie head coach as
Yeah,
well. So a lot of the things that he was doing throughout the season, he's learning on the job as well. So this is not, this is a first for him, and the fact that he came in and he decided to take the reins of the offense on, and you seen early on like, okay, you might need to give it back, but he stuck with it, and he brought some little bit of pizzazz, some excitement into that offense because yeah, I have to admit with Anthony Lynn, the offense was looking kind of dull and stagnated. But a lot of it to me was due to the the personnel that we had. Um, Also got to contribute to the fact that with injuries come in, we had the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to St. Brown, the way he has flourished the second half of the season and shown and basically showed out. I would honestly believe he made. I would say he can be the team MVP. I would honestly say they not just the rookie MVP. I'm just saying for the team itself. I think just the way he's been playing,
yeah,
I would say he would be that MVP of the team. Just because I believe he's been the most consistent of you know of the Lions. This throughout the season, even in the second half when he got more of an opportunity.
right. Amon Ross St. Brown is. I mean, it is an absolute breath of fresh air to watch when Amon Ross St. Brown is actually getting the football out there. It's a beautiful thing. The way that they use him, his versatility as well. Um, Being able to use Amon Ross St. Brown out the backfield on some trick plays. Time when a guy is like a threat all over the field like that, what I'm saying? That's just a beautiful thing. Yeah, we already have DeAndre Swift, who's
Hmm.
versatile. You know what I'm saying? So
And that goal line route that he got down there when it was at first two, that was an amazing route.
Man,
Amazing
I think
route, amazing play call. Just to watch that unfold,
yeah, man.
to watch
that
that
thing was
unfold,
beautiful, man.
it was beautiful to see. And that's the type of thing that we need to see around here. And that's just innovation in regards to play calling and the scheme. That was a beautiful thing. Because
Very
normally I used to get afraid watching the Lions go down there in those type of situations because of the the play calling was very manila when it came to what they were doing. But watching him run that route and how he stuck that was beautiful. That was an amazing thing to see.
And you made me think of something I was thinking about earlier, man, because it explains, like, what I was saying a minute ago. There's been an up and down season. You felt one way in the beginning, and the next thing you know, you started to have some confidence. You started to get a little excited at what you were seeing. And in that situation, for instance, where we lost the games to the field goals, man, and he came to the podium in tears, things like that. The Lions, they started to learn how to finish those games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How to keep the foot on the pedal. Those are the type of things. That's the culture I want established for my team. Like, listen, if we have an opportunity, man, we gonna keep our foots on people's necks until we go ahead and finish. You know what I'm saying? The Lions, obviously, historically, is a team that's been having problems finishing anything. Um, so, like I said, just for him to change that culture, especially with the young guys that he does have, that's impressive. That's very impressive to me.
Big A, you done eating, man? What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. I got to get the family together, man. But yeah, when Amon St. Brown scored that touchdown, I said, well, I'm glad I'm invested in him, before, because his stuff about to shoot up, man. Like it
Yeah.
ain't no if and questions about it, man. What's that?
This is an autographed ball from when I got it from training camp.
Yeah.
I gave the other one to my dog. That was Jelani Tobias.
Yeah, yeah, he man, that kid, man, is talented, man, talented, and just so happened for us, USC was going through all those different quarterback situations, if they would have had a steady quarterback, we wouldn't even be having Amon St. Brown, he would
Yeah,
have been a top 10, top 15 pick,
yeah, he's
but
definitely he's definitely showing that he has been a steal of this draft. But it also, like, well, me and King was discussing earlier before you came in, just it just speaks volumes of the draft class that the Lions put together. Watching this final game, you've seen a lot of the draft class, and then you've seen a lot of projection throughout the year from these rookies, and it gives you great hope going into next season with this draft class, and gives you great hope and to see who these guys are going to draft upcoming. We starting to have some faith in the GM and the coach now, and it's a good thing. It's a good feeling to have. You know, to know that you got a coach that's willing to take risk and put it out there on the line, and you got a GM that I believe knows what he's doing. So it's definitely looking like it's going to be a change of the culture for the Lions in the future. If you guys believe so, leave some sevens in the comments and let us know that you feel the same. Do you feel like Lions is headed in the right direction in the future, or you think we need to take a pause, in this
the
long
one
spell?
thing, that I really noticed in this game, right, is like those guys were out there trying to win, right? And
Yep.
it's like normally when we play Green Bay, get to a certain point in the game where you could just see like the letdown. You know what I'm saying? But like
Hmm.
even in that game, you saw guys jawing right back at Green Bay like we don't care. Like I don't care y'all 13-3, but guess what? You about to take this fourth loss going into the playoffs. Like you could just see that, man.
And it
Especially
was
in that
hitting too.
second
Yeah.
in that secondary, man. Like Tracy Walker, man, that dude is just like he's like a scud missile out there, man. And by the
Oh
way,
yeah.
he mentioned us twice on his dang on Instagram story, so go check him out.
For sure. Yeah, Tracy Walker definitely was out there. He was laying it out there on the line. Like he knows it's the last game, so he's gonna show up and show out. So that was that was a good showing. But while we talking, man, let's give a little bit of shout out to the guys that we got in here with us. Harold Williams, man, he been active in the comments. What's going on with you? Chuck, man, what's good, man? Good to see you again. Good to hear from you again. Josh, Austin, man, how you feeling, man? Good to see you again. Tyler Fogger, welcome, my brother. 0-16, you gotta change your name. I said once again, you gotta change that name, man. There's no Owen no more. But we thank you guys for coming on and rocking with us, man. But this definitely, like I said, it's a bright spot to the end of the season. It was a rough season, of course, but to go out with a victory, to me, definitely. I know a lot of people was like, why, especially with the Jacksonville win today. Now, of course, we got to get into that because, like, that Jacksonville win, and if the Lions, of course, would have lost, they would have got the first overall pick. And people always was going in on that type of situation,
But
which the
one thing
Lions
we got to
winning.
remember though, this is Green Bay. Any opportunity we get a win against Green Bay, we need to go ahead and get that done. From a fan point of view, man, people looking at it as like, oh, don't win, don't win. No coach, no matter what the situation look like, goes into a game and say, hey, we're gonna go out here and half-ass, fellas. Take the night off. Ain't nobody gonna say that. And then, like I say, this is Green Bay, man. So we gonna take them opportunities and them victories, when we can get them. But I do want to say another thing, y'all. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, and share as you're coming in. Treat it as like you coming into the house. Take your shoes off, wipe your feet. But hit that like button for sure, man.
For sure, for
But
sure.
like I said, it was just with this draft, man. This is a pivotal draft, man. This is where we're going to be see where this coaching staff, like what direction they want to go, and see where we're at as an organization when it comes to drafting, right? We got an opportunity to really solidify things on both ends, man. We can really make some things happen with this draft, so we can't fumble this. Go in. Let's not try to be the smartest people in the room, man, and go get them dogs, man. It was
Of
nice to see
course, man.
Akarara back, 2
It
sacks.
did. Got a couple. So yeah, so that young talent, man. It's good to see that young talent get some shine and really show themselves, and we can start getting rid of some of this dead weight. I.e. Trey Flowers. I can't wait for them to release, cut, kick, do something, do the Bruce Arians. As AB would say, the cutthroat. They get rid of that guy because all he did was come here and steal money.
Right.
I can't
Just like
wait.
Mike Daniels, I seen an Instagram video of him like working out in some lobby, talking about ready to get back to it. What, ready to go steal a check? Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah, man, that man was.
I talked to Antonio Brown earlier, and he said to tell Big Willie, I said, "What up?"
Hey, listen, hold on. Okay, I got to do this one. I got to do this one before we move on. Big A, we talked about it, King. I said, listen, I got to go on this rant, man. Yeah, I got it because what happened last week with AB, the situation on the sideline, him throwing his equipment off and lollygagging and trolling and skipping throughout the end zone while the game was playing and making a fool of not only himself but his teammates and his coaching. And for me, I sat back because I wanted to hear what the stories was going to be and what was going on. And I seen a lot of people was trying to defend, his actions. The first, conspiracy theory was, well, they wasn't trying to play him enough because he was close to getting his bonus and they didn't want to get his bonus, which that turned out to be false. Then his story came out that he was playing hurt and the coaches wanted him to play hurt, and because he didn't play hurt, the coach got mad and and said he was done and he cut him right there on the field. For me, the reason why I want to go on this rant is because I spent this whole week when people was trying to defend AB. Like I would have said, I would have did the same thing, or if they was playing with my money, or if they was playing with my health, I'd have cut up too. How dare they? I'm like, have y'all seen what AB has done these past 4 or 5 years? Have y'all been paying attention to what this brother is? This brother shows no accountability whatsoever for his actions, for the stuff that he costs himself. And then what he tries to do, instead of having accountability, he goes on and tries to make others look bad. And he's been doing it. And that's why I said for everybody I was coming to the defense of AB, he's done this several times before. Started in Pittsburgh when he's taking videos of coaching, and when he's getting at his players in the locker room, he's exposing the locker room of his coaching, and then not going back out there and playing to the last game of the season, and then getting his way up out of Pittsburgh, then getting over there to Las Vegas, which was I think was man, I've been Las Vegas at the time, but whatever. Get over there, get the contract. Didn't really play, having issues with the changing of the helmet and then freezing his feet and causing issues, and then exposing his coach over there, showing the phone conversations that he had with Gruden until he got his way kicked up out of there. He didn't last over there in New England because he had all them offensive field issues. Gets another chance, the third or fourth chance to come in to play on a championship caliber team, win the championship, got the GOAT going to bat for you to bring you in, and then you repay him by showing your ass, and then after the fact that you showed your ass, he still defended you, and then the first chance you get, you badmouth this dude that brought you in, that got you a championship, that gave you a chance after all the times that you messed up. And people was defending this person. And I'm like, no, why? This is AB. He's done this before. He doesn't show no accountability. So people trying to defend and saying like, well, the coaches was wrong. If the coaches was wrong, there's protocols in place to for that. There's no cutting nobody on the sideline. That has never been done. That would never be done. Anytime a player gets cut, it comes on a Tuesday, not during the game. They cannot cut a player during the game. So that's a false thing. So that's a lot of people who don't know the game, don't know the full situation. So you know he could get now. He was done with the game. Yeah, he probably got fed up because there's a lot of back and forth stuff going on. But I can't go by AB's word when he's shown to burn the bridges everywhere that he goes. So for me, I'm like, no, I know. Then he's sitting back on the podcast with his feet up. I'm the greatest wide receiver, and why is Tom Brady get Gronk his pay? But he's supposed to be my boy. Why he ain't get paid? Because you do foolish stuff like that. You badmouth people. You use people. You do stupid stuff on the field. Let's not forget the whole flu vaccine thing that he did. Fake vaccine card, costing himself time and money, but he doesn't show no accountability for himself. So I say no, FAB, man. No, no, no. He don't get no pass for me. If it was anybody else and that happened too, I'll say, you know what? They may get a pass for that. But him, no, he gets no pass for me. I don't condone childish behaviors. And then you try to cover your grounds by look at the text and look at this. No, man, you know what you did. You know what you're trying to do. Man, you can miss me with that. And that's my rant.
I mean, my thing too with the whole AB thing, right? It comes to a point where we have to that thing, as grown-ups, we have to adhere to self-accountability. And with AB, it's always somebody else, somebody else, somebody else. And it's like if you continue to run into these problems, uh, situation after situation, and it's like, what's the common denominator, right?
Mm-hmm.
AB. So after a while, you got to also look at yourself in the mirror. And I think, AB, after that hit from Vontae's Burfict, I
Yeah.
really think that brother is dealing with CTE, and I think he really needs to get the proper help that he needs to get. He needs to stop ignoring those signs and stuff like that, because if you don't take care of that situation, it only gets worse. So, and I'm with you too. The way he, not like the way now that he's talking bad about Tom Brady, is just like, dude, like that's crazy for you to go ahead and like throwing knives in his back, and the dude, you know, even after you said what you said, he's still saying he we need to get our brother some help. You know what I'm saying? And it's like after a while, you have to um, look at yourself in the mirror, and we as a people, we have to stop making up excuses for people, man. You know what I'm saying? I know they had the whole narrative out there about his incentives, right? And it's like, listen, if you never would have did the thing, and this what well, I don't agree with people, right? People can do sneaky stuff and BS to you all day long. But the minute that comes back around their way, they can't deal with it. My whole thing is you did the whole thing with the fake vaccination card thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got suspended. You missed 3 games, right? and then you come back, they still had you in the game. But this is my thing. Even if they wanted to be petty, you gave them all the right to do it. But I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it was them doing that because you had 5 targets in that game. You had 3
Right.
catches. You only needed 5 more catches. They was trying to put you back in the game. But
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, people also got to get out of this. Oh, I could do whatever I want. I could be slick to you as much as I want to be. And the minute you call me out on it, okay. But guess what? Don't be slick back to me because then I'm gonna have an issue with it.
Yeah,
Like, come
exactly.
on, man.
Yeah, to me, no, he
Like,
doesn't. He doesn't get a pass.
nah.
And I was talking to Big A. I said AB is the Kanye West of the NFL because he then got so many chances, and we can't keep going back because that's the first thing. Because I thought of King, Big A. We all thought of that. That hit that he got on from Bronson Burfict that may have caused him to have this, but we can't keep using that as an excuse for his behavior. And at
No,
some
I'm
point in
not. No,
time,
but no.
no,
Listen, I'm not saying that's an excuse, but that is something that dude is dealing with, and he needs to get help with it. I mean, the sporadic, because let's not act like he wasn't just flying off a tangent
mm-hmm.
until after that hit, and
Yeah,
you can most definitely see that.
and I
But
agree,
he
and I
needs to
agree
get
with
help
that.
for it.
But he also has to recognize that he needs to get help for it too, because
Right.
he doesn't say, if you listen to him on the podcast, he's like, no, that's not it. And he made a good point, because like I said, you really don't know the significance of what CTE does to a player until after they die. But even if it's not, even if it's something that's during that, we've all seen this behavior problem come from him that he needs to get help with, but he doesn't feel that he needs to get help.
But see, I don't agree with the
do a crackhead think they're a crackhead?
exactly. And see, and that's what I was about to say, because I don't agree with the we don't know what CTE does to a player till after they die. I mean, we don't have enough people. I mean, we'll need 1,000 more of them to die to understand because I mean, you even look at the couple guys, the guys that have passed, what they do. They went back in their timeline when behaviors started getting strange, and like, oh wow, okay. So there is signs and traits. You don't need another 1,000 people to die, but like I say, and I agree with King. Does a crackhead think they're a crackhead? You're gonna say no. He needs to sit down and get some help. And stop pointing the finger at everybody.
And that's my main thing with him, is the accountability.
Well, let's here's my thing, man. With this Antonio Brown situation, I feel like the NFL just needs to do more. They just need to do more with some of these certain players that's dealing with these issues, man. Because, like I said, I made the comment, crackheads don't know they're crackheads. You're right. Of course, Antonio Brown don't know something is wrong with Antonio Brown. How do you help that situation is the question. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? What resources is available? What is the NFL really trying to do? Are they trying to do anything at all or give any type
I
of
was just
You
about
know
to
what?
say that.
You know
The
what?
NFL,
See,
hold on, let me go, Big Willie. The NFL don't even want you to mention those 3 letters. I don't know if you've seen the Michael Strahan broadcast after the situation. He just kept saying mental, mental. Even with Brady, the same thing. He just kept saying, it's a mental thing. We know we got it. They don't want to put those 3 letters on there because
they know.
But the thing is this, though, we don't know what the NFL has tried. We can honestly say, we can always say that, oh, they're not doing anything for. Obviously, they've tried a lot, because he didn't had several chances to get back into the league.
Bro,
And
they got a whole
this is
movie
not
of
even
them not trying to deal with CTE. It's a whole movie based on a true story.
right. And because of that movie, the reason why we got different concussion protocols, and they got behavioral health things going on in the NFL. But like at the same time, just like when you're saying about a crackhead, a person who has a problem, we could come, and I'm pretty sure there's been friends and family that came to and addressed that situation, but it's going to take him to make that next step. And I'm not seeing that coming from him. And we all been around people who we came to, who we then had sanctions with it. Say, hey, bro, hey man, you need to get yourself together. And it could be like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure it'd be like, you know what, you're right, yeah. I do need to get myself together and go right at the door and still act a fool. We've been through that where times we'd be like, you know what? I can only do so much for this person. I can talk to him. I can love, and just like that, just like Tom Brady went out his way to, okay, let's bring AB back in, AB in because he's a talent. Let's give him a chance. And when nobody else is giving him a chance. And even when he cut up, Tom Brady was still like, let's not jump to the conclusion. Let's not jump on him. Let's be there for him. And as soon as he said that, AB was like, you know what? No, Tom Brady can't do nothing without nobody. So I'm like, if it was anybody else, I'd be like, okay. But for him, he gets no pass for me. Because he had multiple opportunities to get himself together, to put himself in the right path, and people then reached out to him. And we've seen in this document that people then reached out to him and gave him opportunities to be successful. All he has to do is behave like a grown-up. That's all I'm saying. He's done had the opportunities. And we know he has issues. Everybody know he has issues, but it's only a certain point in time we be like, you know what? I got issues, or my family got issues, or everybody else got issues too, and we just can't sit here and harp on your issues alone if you're not coming to meet us halfway.
But check this out, right? This is the thing that gets me with the NFL, right? Who has the NFL came out and say, okay, yeah, this seems like it's a CTE issue, right? I mean, look at Josh. Look at Josh Gordon. How many? Look, nobody complaining about the amount of times he's getting, chances in the NFL. And his problem is just he's smoking weed. But that ain't on the NFL. That's him smoking weed. But if you label something CTE, which the NFL don't want to deal with, they don't want to deal with it, man. I mean, like I said, it's a whole movie based on that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it's
And
only
how they.
but
But listen,
yeah.
if you watch the movie, they were even. I mean, to me, how people are not in jail behind that because they are was paying to falsify medical records and I mean the whole nine.
Now I don't like I said, I agree with you, Big A, because at some point in time, we all know the NFL they're not all the way not, you know, to blame in some of these issues. We know that how they treat their players, how they do for their players. I can contest to that. Just not for him. Just not for him because he's had every opportunity because he's one of the greatest players in the league right now. They're going to give him all those opportunities. Anybody as great as him will get that. Why do you think Josh Gordon keeps being able to get a chance to come back in this league after all his substance abuse issues and then the rehabs and things like because he's a great player. They're going to give him opportunities because of that, because of the skill set. So I'm pretty sure teams, coaches, and everybody say, listen, if I'm going to take on AB, I know it's going to be a little extra. So I'm going to have some extra things around to help him. The problem with me is that he's burnt everything that he's touched in this league. So yeah, I can agree with the CTE thing about the NFL when it comes to everybody else, just not him. Just not him.
I'm a person. In that situation, things could have obviously been done better. I just like to see him get some help. I'm not really the person to be in the middle and say what something is when I'm not in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So, but you just want to see him get help. You don't want to see nobody, just causing self harm to themselves. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things that he's doing is he's screaming out for help.
Yeah, and that's my thing, and that's what I'm saying because like I said, if you ever had a concussion, man, it ain't no good feeling, and to get hit the way like he got knocked out, like dude, to get hit the way he got hit, and to you know that impact he took, man, it's gonna be hard for you to come back, all the way, and that's my thing. The dude, you know, I don't know who's in his circle, but it just seemed like he got a bunch of yes men around him.
And that's how
People that really care about him should be like, hey man, Like, man, you got to get some help,
So,
man.
so my question is this, and maybe this falls on the NFL. Maybe we don't know the ins and outs of what they did to be able to allow AB to come back into the league. If he does get another opportunity, does it require that he has to go through a psychiatric evaluation and therapy before he's able to play? Should the NFL implement that? I don't think they can. I don't know if that may be some HIPAA laws or something that may not say that they can force him to go seek therapy, to seek psychiatric evaluation before he's able to play on the field. I'm not sure if that's in the realms of what the NFL can do, but if it is, I would think that's something that he needs to pass this type of evaluation before they let him back on the field. If everybody say he needs to get help and he wants to play, before you play another down in this league, you go get this therapy, you go get this evaluation before we let you back on this field. So we know, okay, is more to you than what we believe or what you believe. You can say that you're okay. We may say that you're not. Let's go to get some professional help for you. And they said that it's okay, just like they did with him on the field. He said his foot was messed up. The medical staff said that they cleared him. And now
Come
it's
on
going back.
now,
Now it's
come
going.
on now.
Now wait, no, I'm making a point. I'm making a point.
Hold on.
No, I'm making a point. I'm making a point.
Okay.
I'm making a point. Now it's going to be a lot of back and forth because he could say he wasn't. They could say he is. It's the same thing that I was going to say with having a psychiatric evaluation because he could go in there and say he's okay, and he say that, and they said that he's not, and then he's going to cause a stink too. So it's going to be kind of hard to do that. Like, what does the NFL do in that type of situation as far as like psychiatric evaluation goes when you feel like a player has a mental issue?
Well, but see, the reason why I didn't touch on the whole medical thing, I mean, we could go down a long list of players. I mean, the Lions cleared Calvin Johnson every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Pistons cleared Grant Hill every week. Like, come on. So listen, when you got to go through your company doctor, you best believe that doctor is in the interest of that company.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't really even touch on that because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what's best as far as the company. Them doctors don't really care about the players like that because if they did, they wouldn't continue to keep feeding them opiates when they going through whatever pains they going, or they wouldn't give them a shot. Covering up things that's torn and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
And that's what the point that I was making. Like, how do we, not we, but how does the NFL, how can they police that? How can they police to say that, are they looking out for the players' best interest or the NFL's best interest when they go into dealing with someone with
listen,
mental health issues? Like,
Roger Goodell.
if he says, hold on, if he says that he's mentally fine, and the NFL's doctors or the NFL therapist said that he's not, what you think that's going to do to the players? If the players saying, "Listen, I can't play because the doctor said that I'm not fine, even though I feel that I'm fine," it'll cause you know, a Pandora's box of issues that comes with it. And I believe that may be the issue why the NFL can't get really involved in mental capacity because you can't judge. I don't think you could judge mental the same as physical. You can see where he got bone fragments missing, but you really can't see when they're alive unless they can and they got scans to show that he got some brain issues that he can't play
No,
with.
you can. I see, and that's what I was about to get into. But what I also wanted to say, I think Roger Goodell, they said within the last 2 years, he made $148 million. So, what interest you think he care about? The NFL. But you can also, like, when you have those concussions and stuff like that, with I think MRIs and stuff, you can see damage. You know what I'm saying? So,
But
but
is it enough to be able to keep them off the field? Because if that's the case, I believe every NFL player would have that damage, and that would allow not no player to play because every player in the NFL them probably took some big hits, and they didn't probably go in there. If they got to do that for him, they got to do that for everybody. And if he goes in and say, if they're showing me this way, I could guarantee you all the rest of the players are going to look the same way too. So y'all can't stop me from playing. Y'all have to stop everybody else from playing. Like you said, Big A, they got to look out for what's the best interest of the NFL.
look, check this out. You know how that's gonna go? Rogers, look what he did when he said he was vaccinated, right? He got fined $4,000. Antonio Brown, look what he did, right? He got suspended for 3 games. So you see how that works, right?
I can see that. I can see that, and
So
I know,
they
and, that, and
they gonna let who they want through that door. So it ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm
they
saying?
will,
Because
and they won't. But it at the same time, that's what I say. It'd be hard to police that. But I don't want to compare bad to bad. Even though I felt that Roger should have got some more happened to him. But like I said, the credibility of AB is what cost him more than what it was, because he
but the
wasn't the only
thing
one that got
is,
suspended though. It was a couple other dudes
but
that got suspended
what
3 games too.
what I'm saying is, the crime is the crime. Then here we go. We going into these courtrooms. We committing the same crime, but then we
Getting
getting
different
different time.
sentences.
Come on, man. Like, it don't matter. It's the crime is the crime.
Yeah, but
You know.
if you got prior convictions, your time is gonna be
Uh,
different.
uh,
The time is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? If you a two-strike loser going in there doing that crime again, then somebody who hasn't, it might be a little different. You know how the
yeah,
system goes.
but my thing is, like, when you doing something like falsifying stuff, or you going over like protocol, which we dealing with in the pandemic, that's something serious, man. Just because you didn't, and this the thing, just because you didn't get caught like this other player or whatever did, but then you got caught on this situation. So
I mean, do you feel like it's the punishment is saying somebody who misinterpreted and tried to deceive somebody by saying that they did and they didn't get it, or somebody who said that they got it and showed false documentation and it came back that it was false? You think that those crimes still fit under the same billing as
they
far as their
both
punishment
lied.
goes?
They both lied. They did it in different ways. They
Oh,
both lied.
okay. I can rock
Simple
with
as that.
that. I can rock with
They
that.
both lied. They both was walking around like they was vaccinated. They wasn't wearing masks because they was vaccinated, as they would say, and they both lied. So
Say they was raw dog in the air, huh?
yeah, right. So I mean, they both lied. They just did it. They just did it in different ways, but it was handled in different ways also. So
Right.
Of course, of course. But yeah, it's that, man. This definitely was something that it's a great topic, man, to dive into in regards to the situation, because it opens up a great discussion in regards to, like, the differences in players and the different you know different outcomes. Like I said, it was a different outcome for Rodgers than it was for AB. My only problem is it's AB. It's always something with AB. If it was
I
somebody
get
else
it.
that did that, I'd be okay. But it's always something with him, man.
I think what AB got was suspended 3 games and a fine, right?
He got suspended 3 games. I think he got docked those 3 game checks.
Yeah,
And then 2 other players got suspended too with him. So he wasn't the only one.
right.
Those 2 others got suspended. I don't remember their names, but there's 2 others that came in with the false vaccine cards. But I
And that
thought, of course, like, I'm with you, Big A. Aaron Rodgers should have got more than the fine, man, for
Man,
real.
$4,000. Come on, man. That dude can wipe his butt with that and not even miss it. But this is another thing I want to say, man. People trying to come on Bruce Arians, man. Come on, man.
And
Like,
that's
you
and
guys to hold on. You guys to believe just the type of person Bruce Arians is. He had several conversations with AB.
mhm.
And at a certain point in time, even like you're in the management field, man. If you're not a person that's just you want to go right people, you're gonna talk to people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be, hey man, well, hey man, But after a while, you're gonna be like, dude, enough is enough, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I feel
And in that
happened.
game, hold on, in that game, you had the players try to talk to him first. And then Bruce Arians went to him. He was the last one, like, hey, man, what's going on? And he went off. You know what? You're done. I
Mhm.
mean,
And I agree with you. And I believe that's what happened. That was the last straw for Bruce, because honestly, I don't think Bruce Arians would have even brought him back if uh, Godwin didn't get hurt. Because after that whole flu vaccine card, I mean the COVID vaccine card fiasco, I think Bruce Arians is already done with AB. But the fact that they was down them receivers and they needed him to come back, I think he's like, okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet on this one. But the fact that he was clowning at halftime, they say he was clowning at halftime first,
and they was
and
losing.
they was losing, and they tried to get him back in the game, and he said, "No, my foot hurt now. I don't want to go back in." I think Bruce Arians like, you know what, F it, come on here, get up out of here, man. I don't need this negativity around. I gave you too many chances as is.
Look,
Right.
look. Let's talk about something else besides Antonio.
I think we did enough on him, huh?
No, I wanted to ask y'all, man. Who's your pick for the biggest surprise? The biggest surprise player for the Detroit Lions?
Mine would be St. Brown.
Willie thinking. Willie thinking. Put y'all's in the comments too. I want to see y'all opinion.
I would
And
say
don't live in the moment. Do not live in the moment.
talking
about throughout the season.
I would say throughout the season would have to be a Wanye.
Okay.
I would say
a
Wanye. I think he, I knew he was there, but to see him take that leap and the way he played, I would say him. I would go with him.
I am a bit surprised that Amon-Ra St. Brown took off as fast as he did. Kind of felt like he was going to be something like the player he is. Amani Oruwariye, I chose him to be my breakout player this season. So, for me, I wasn't surprised. I knew up under a better coordinator that he was going to flourish. I would say my person, probably Chris Harris is a good one, Tyler. I'm going to have to say Jerry Jacobs, man.
Yeah, I like Jerry Jacobs too.
Yeah.
Jerry Jacobs is a dog, man.
Yeah, absolute dog. I was devastating for him to take that injury, man. But
I know, man. That's the only reason why I didn't go with him, because he got hurt. But yeah, most definitely and the thing with Jerry Jacobs, man, I'm right there with you. You don't see it in stats because they don't mess with him too much.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
The reason why, man. Every time you see him over there, you pulling that seatbelt strap, man.
Yeah.
So, I love the young fella, man. Like I said, we got some nice little pieces, man, in this draft. And as far as our undrafted rookies, man, yeah, AJ Parker too. Yep, yeah. So, like I said, with the Lions, obviously we got to talk about the draft real quick. Since the season is concluded, the Lions are for sure picking number 2. A lot of people were upset with Dan Campbell for winning this game. The scumbag part of the fan base. And
you could tell those people ain't never played a sport seriously ever in their life.
Man. So it's like, hey, man.
It's the fascination with the number 1 pick. That's what it is.
Yeah, everybody, they just stone cold believe that the Jaguars is going to take Hutchinson to Thibodeau when they need a whole offensive line in front of their quarterback. They're like I said, what are you taking a third DN with the first pick? That's what you're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I believe they go O-line. You know what I'm saying? They go O-line, and the Lions will still, whatever situation go. At number 2, you still can get a guy you want. You know what I'm saying?
Now check this out. Jacksonville could trade back because they do need to go tackle.
Yeah.
That's what I could kind of see them doing that, because like you say, protect your investment in Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go get that man an offensive line.
Yep.
I can see them trading back Big A, but I'm trying to think who would want to trade up for that number 1 spot, because there's really not no one there. I would believe that you would want to trade up to get that number 1 spot for that. Probably won't be there already.
But you think about it though, you could be one of those teams that want to go get you a defensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you trade your picks to come up to get it.
Huh?
But you trade your pickups to get it to that number 1 spot. I don't know. We have to ponder on that one.
Yeah, well, I've seen crazier things happen in previous drafts. So, like I said, with the Lions situation, with Brad Holmes got a unique situation because number 1, you can't go wrong at number 2. You know what I'm saying? With the guys that's available right there, unless you do something stupid like draft a receiver.
Mm-hmm. And the pressure is off. With them not having that number 1 pick, he doesn't have the pressure of taking the number 1 pick, because everybody's going to second guess whoever he gets. There's going to be questions if he was to get the number 1 pick. At the number 2 pick, because you don't control who's at number 1, a little bit of pressure is off of Dan Campbell and Jim to make the pick, because, like I said, this is what was given to us at this number 2 pick. So honestly, I kind of feel better at being at that number 2, because honestly, at that number 2, there's really, for the Lions, you can't go wrong, because the needs that they have, whether it's at the defensive line or in that backfield, wherever that they pick at, it's going to be a need, and it's going to be somebody that's going to, I believe, is going to contribute.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the list here. So you got Jacksonville at number 1. You got the Lions at number 2. You got the Texans at number 3. You got the Jets at number 4. The Giants at number 5. The Panthers at number 6. The Giants again at number 7. The
Falcons
Falcons
got another one too.
at number 8. The Broncos at number 9, and the Jets at number 10. So I kind of I don't know, because Jacksonville, they might just be, I don't know. Yeah, I think you just gonna have to take that tackle, Evan Neal from Alabama.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
You see what just happened to the quarterback.
Yeah, the way I'm looking at this, I really don't see nobody wanting to move from their spot to move up.
To get us that, and that's what I was saying, Big A, like the spots that they got, especially, you got 2 teams got 2 picks in the top 10. I'm like, they're going to get
both of the New York teams.
Both of them, right? They're going to get enough of what they need at them picks, to where they don't need to trade up together. There's no slam dunk consensus number 1 player coming out this draft, and generally the consensus number 1 is a quarterback, and none of the quarterbacks I would move up to get number 1, or I draft that at number 1 this draft season. So
but
it's definitely.
And then that's another thing when you think about it, when you look at it, even within really, it ain't really no team except you got the Washington football team, or I guess the Broncos, unless that's where Aaron Rodgers is about to go.
I was thinking that too.
But yeah, because Houston, but they had number 3. So, and then I guess the Jets and the Giants are cool with their quarterback, Carolina. But yeah, you don't really need to move up at number 1. So yeah, Jacksonville just might be stuck with it. They might as well go ahead and get their tackle.
Indeed. So I guess we're gonna have to see. Of course, we're gonna talk about it more, in the upcoming weeks. See what the Lions' moves gonna be all season wise and draft wise. But I believe, I think we talked the Lions enough, for right now. Do you think it's time for us to switch it up a little bit? I think it's a little Piston talk time. What you think, King, Big A?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this Piston talk.
All right, let's get it.
W3 Kings in the building at Culture Detroit.
Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard. Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah. Working hard, working hard.
Of course, we gotta make sure we give a shout out to our official sponsor, Culture Detroit, located at the Avenue of Fashion, 19326 Illinois. Go down there, check them out, man. Tell them We Three Kings sent you. They take care of all your exclusive sneaker needs as well as fashion needs as well. So definitely give them a check it out. They are official sponsor of We Three Kings. So
obviously we gotta go directly to the biggest news of the day. A lot of Pistons fans excited. I am beyond myself excited because it's a young talent, and it's the epitome of what I've been asking for weeks now. Somebody who can block shots, rebound, that's a lob threat. But this man can also stretch the floor, like a big giant point guard. So it's just like Troy Weaver going out and getting Bobo the way that he did, just giving up nothing for him. and to be able to do it, because I know there's a lot of fan bases that's been calling for Bol Bol, man, wanted their teams to go after him. But everybody knows Bol Bol is talented. You know, he just was in a bad situation. You got the league MVP right in front of you. You know, they can't play along with each other, so it's just a bad situation for him over there, man. But bringing Bol Bol, man, is definitely going to be a relief to a lot of our guards. You know, they'll be able to attack the basket a little bit more freely because you can't leave Bol Bol. So it just creates so much, man. And I'm definitely happy about it. Shout out to Troy Weaver for working that magic, man, and you know, pulling those right strings. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you, man. You know, Bol, man. Like you say, it's that length. You know, he can shoot, he can dribble, do a lot of things. You know, um, I'm glad to see that they are paying attention. Well, not paying attention because they know what's needed, but I'm glad to see that they are making moves to, you know, fix that big situation. So, yeah, I agree. We got them for nothing, you know, nothing. So,
basically, yeah. So I'm with you guys on that. When I seen, basically what they gave up for him, Magruder, he's going to be back and forth, and he's a G League and in the second round player. I mean, second round pick for somebody with potential as Bobo, and also Bobo got a relationship with Jeremy Grant. What they was playing together down there in Denver, so I think that would help when he gets back. So I like to see what he brings and opportunity for him to grow because he really didn't get a chance to be able to showcase, what he can do because of, like you said, how the lineup is over there in Denver. And I'm hoping that with them bringing him over, that he can bring some, some energy and some different looks. Because, like I said, he's a big that can, stretch the floor, like King said. He also can bring the ball up. He's basically like a 7-2 guard.
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
He's a guard, so he plays more like the guard position anyway. So it definitely can, open up some things. And I know it's this is not a move for right now, but this is a move that could be beneficial towards the future going into next season to start building that foundation. He's a young player, of course, so he got room to grow, and he could be that one of those pieces that the Pistons have to grow with. Whether he could come in and either come off the bench or potentially come in and be a starter. On this
And
team.
another thing with that situation, the Pistons, obviously another player, young player that they don't have to rush, but getting him right now at this point of the season, you'll have a nice amount of time to look at him. And if he looks better than what you thought he was going to look, it may affect what the Pistons decide to do in the draft.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's definitely going to affect what they do in the draft. So if he turns out to be what a lot of people around the country believe that he could be, then that's only better for the Pistons. So then it widens up, what you can do with the draft. With Bobo, if he does, come into being that player, do you get Banchero for sure? You know what I'm saying? Because Banchero can play power forward. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, do you move on from Jeremy Grant? It's just a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? So
I think
will be on this Bobo situation.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing too, man. Get him some of that good Detroit cooking, man. Put some weight
Yeah.
on him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He need to lead them Instagram models along, though. That's what he need to do.
Hey, listen,
Bobo.
Bobo.
As soon as he got traded, old girl, like, he done cheated on me.
Hey, listen. David Jackson says Bobo is a 7-2 point guard. I think he may be in line to take over that point guard position that we got right now.
All right.
I don't know what kind of water you drinking, but I need to sell it.
Hey, listen, that'll be exclusive,
too, man. Because like I said, this might finally put Killian on the bench. Where a lot of us think that's where he should have started in the first place.
Yep.
Instead of being thrown into what he's doing, but
yep.
This might be the move to help that happen to where you got K at that point, and then you got Diallo, Sadiq, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever they do at 4 and 5.
Exactly. And I think that either way, I think even if he doesn't, I with just to piggyback off what you were saying, King, I believe that's something that should happen anyway. I believe in free agency. I was talking with Big A about this, earlier this week. I believe that we should go after a guard and free agent, a starting guard and free agent, just to. I believe Killian right now he's not ready for that starting role yet, but he needs time to grow and develop. I don't get rid of him, but let him learn. Let him get a veteran. Let's bring a veteran in, with this team that can run at point guard and also be able to help bring Killian along. Let's not
Mm-hmm.
abandon our young guys
Yeah,
because they're still developing. But let's not slow down our progress as a team while we're waiting on these guys to develop. When we could bring someone in, that can make some moves. Maybe somebody like a Dennis Schroeder or a Russell Westbrook. Now I ain't gonna say Russell Westbrook, but some of these young guys that's been playing that point
Listen,
guard position
Russell
that can.
Westbrook would not be able to survive in the D the way he talking.
nah, bro.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't
Yeah,
gonna-
Russell Westbrook
You,
would be just fine.
yeah, right. You heard what Kwame Brown said. You better come correct in the D.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you
he
don't,
will.
they're gonna jump all on you like a trampoline.
Oh, Kwame
But
Brown.
I what excites me, right? When you look at that, right, with bringing Bol over, man, and then you got Luca Garza, man, like right there. I mean, you just look at that. That's two bigs right there, man. And if the Pistons can develop these two, man, I mean, you can get back to getting everybody back into their rightful roles, their right positions. I mean, man. Who I say I want to go get in free agents. I still think they should go holler at DeAndre Ayton, man.
Oh
I
yeah, of
mean,
course. I listen. Anybody, I feel like anybody that's in free agency that can improve the lineup, I say we need to take a swing at. For me, and I said this weeks before that to me only two positions. I honestly right now even I would say only one position right now to me is a solidified starter. You know what I'm saying? Even Jeremy Grant, I know he's been under a lot of trade talks, but I feel like if he's not in the trade talks, his spot is there. But the other three position is still room to grow. A lot less than for Sadiq now because the way he's been playing these last few weeks too. So, but if there's a chance to get some high quality talent that's been proven, I'm with the Pistons for trying to take a swing at it.
I just think if they get them bigs, man, get them bigs going, it's a total different team, man.
Bring
I
Mason
You,
Plumlee back.
it's not only that, like I brung it up in one of my videos earlier, bro. They have no, they don't have the veteran presence. You know what I'm saying? These guys,
Mm-hmm.
they need it sorely. They need veteran presence sorely. We have, Grant and Olenek, but Olenek ain't been here since the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying? And Grant's been out. So it's like, we've been watching over the last, 3 to 4 games. We've seen, K struggling at moments. That's where you need that veteran guard to come and, hey, say, listen, you doing this, you doing that, settle down,
mhm.
this, that, and the third. They out there literally just learning on the fly right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's go ahead, Willie.
No, I was agreeing with you on that one, King, and it just gets me thinking like, what guard, what veteran guard that's still got some life left in them. Not nobody that's on their way out the door that could come in with this young team and give them that spark, but also give them that veteran knowledge that these young guys need. Because you see that throughout the season how these guys can build up a lead and lose the lead and then and not only lose the lead but lose the game by big numbers. And you'll need that not only a veteran guard, but more veteran players with experience to tell these guys, okay, we may need to start slowing it down, or we may need to pick it up this way. It's something that I believe we need to address in free agency, and I believe we're gonna have the money to do so, getting the right players in to come in with these young guys. some guys that could potentially be starters, that can push the guys that we got out there now. Listen, if you're not doing your position starting, I can go ahead and take over, and you can go to the bench. And I think that's what we need for the guys like Killian and Stewart and Sadiq, to have guys behind them. Like, you have no room for error. You need to come out here and ball. Otherwise, we gonna come in and do what we do. And I think that can only help the young guys, because right now they're not getting pushed, because they their positions basically this year solidified. I think going into next season, these guys need to get some veterans to come in to push them guys to know, listen, you can't afford to fall back. You need to be on point all the time. Otherwise, we can come in and make this thing work.
Yeah, man. Like like with the young roster we got right now, um, we coming up on the midway point of the season. Eventually, we got another half a season to watch these guys. Some of the things my concerns is not only the veteran presence. My starting lineup hasn't played a consistent 10 games yet.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, what am I truly expecting on how these players look out there? A lot of these guys, they look out of place all the time, confused, not comfortable with each other, miscommunications out there, things like that. All the symptoms and ingredients of a team that doesn't have experience together. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want them for this second half of the season, when we do get Olenek back, which is probably really shortly, um, when we do get Olenek back and we get a consistent rotation of guys to play, like I say, we've been out here in games with Trey Lyles starting at center, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally been a revolving door. It's been a carousel of guys getting time, getting in, getting out, doing things like that. I want to see some consistency.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to learn how to play with each other until they're on the court enough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they gotta press that issue this season, for the rest of the season.
And then, and I agree with you on that one, King, because like I said, we haven't had a consistent stretch where we had a starting five, the starting
Mm-hmm.
five that we were supposed to have. So definitely going into the second half, I would, like to get a glimpse of that just to see how that looked. You know, I know we've been, hard on this starting lineup, but at the same time, you just made me think like, well, these guys haven't played together.
Yeah.
And people, questioning, yeah, of course, there's no veteran leadership, because a lot of these players are not really veteran. Like, to make Jeremy Grant a veteran leader, which he wasn't brought in to be that. When he came in, you had Derrick Rose and the curly hair carrot top guy here. You had him, and so to me, he's not supposed to be like Jeremy Grant is not the leader of the Pistons. He's just the best player we have right now.
Yes.
He
Yes.
wasn't brought in to be the number one guy either.
No.
But because of we rebuilding, he's the most veteran out of the young guys that we have starting. He's the best that we have. But he's not going to be that number one guy. He wasn't brought in to be the number one guy. He's brought in to be a piece. And he's a great piece. But to put that pressure on him to be and do the number one things, it was never meant to be. And I don't think going forward it's going to be. We're hoping that K takes that next step and the other guys take the next step, that, we don't lean on Jeremy Grant to be the best player on the Pistons, because he really wasn't set here to do that. But he is a good player. Jeremy Grant can get you 20 a night. So that's not something I will give up. I want to give up easily anyway. So when I'm hearing a lot of trade talks, I'm like, we're willing to give away a 20-point guy easily, and he's young. It's like, this is his fourth, maybe fifth year in the league. He's young too. you
Right.
know,
My thing with the Pistons is though, it's like, with like the fan base too, is like, everybody, oh, we got K, we in the playoffs. Like, nah, man, this thing gonna take time, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Look how long it took Milwaukee to get to the position where they at. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how long it took
Phoenix.
Boston with their young team. Look how long it took Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta sit back and we just gotta just let this thing, it's just like you cooking that big old pot of chili or stew, man. let it simmer. We gotta let it simmer. You know, and shuffle some pieces around. Like I agree, man. I think the best thing for Killian to be would be go to the bench. Let him be able to. Okay, I'm coming in. It's not the focal point of me to like go in here and win this game, but the focal point of me is to keep the ship steady. That second unit comes in. They're the ones. Okay, let's get a little change of pace up in here. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be patient, man. I keep seeing this thing on Facebook. You got this guy keep telling everybody, y'all cannot stomach a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is.
Yes,
It's
it
gonna
really
take
is.
time. I
Yes.
mean, when we built the team with Chauncey, Rip, Ben, that took a while.
And why you said that Ben Wallace thing, I'm saying, we know that Isaiah Stewart is not Ben Wallace yet. You know what I'm saying? Because but number one, yeah, he's not as athletic as Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace wasn't Ben Wallace into how many years in his career?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But one thing we got to say, Isaiah is a better shooter than Ben Wallace. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, Ben Wallace, finally got put into a good position for him to succeed too. So
that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
And that's
get them to understand, because it's like, bro, listen, not even with just Isaiah Stewart, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us Pistons fans, we forget about, the guys that we had on our championship team and how they got there. You know what I'm saying? The journeys they took to get there.
We didn't draft none of them.
Yes.
Except for one.
Except Tayshaun. That's right.
Yeah, except Tayshaun. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, they had to go on a journey. You know how long it took Chauncey Billups to become that Chauncey Billups?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we in this business now where a lot of us play these video games like 2K, and they think it's just that simple. They think you turn franchises like that.
Build a character, that fast,
Yeah.
Build a season up.
You know what I'm saying? So even when the super team of LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh first got together, it took them a minute to get their chemistry together. You know what I'm saying? So we got a bunch of kids out here with no veterans. What do you think is going to happen out there? They're going to go through these struggles. It's going to happen. So, like I said, the Pistons are under construction. We just need to be a little bit more patient, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Be a little bit more patient with the situation.
So with that being said, with the patience, and I know we talked about this, and I keep on reiterating this: is Casey's job safe?
Let's just call this what this is, man. Dwayne Casey is not a horrible coach. He's not in the greatest situation with the young team and the roster that he has at all. Players, they keep coaches' jobs, but they also get them fired too. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the situation with Dwayne Casey right now, you got a group of kids out here with no type of real help out there. You don't have the coach on the floor right now. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to give this philosophy to these young guys, and then these guys are going in and out, and then next thing you know, you're going through this COVID situation. So, like I said, the time frame is just not enough. Let's just call it what it is with Dwayne Casey. A lot of times, what irritates people with Dwayne Casey is the strings he pulls at times. Sometimes they feel like he put players in bad positions to be successful. Number one, sticking guys like Cade and Killian both in the corner, that ain't working. You know what I'm saying? You need to decide who's going to run the offense. If it's going to be Cade or you're going to send Killian to the bench, something. But just sitting in the corner stuff, it's not working. You did that to Sekou, and where is he at right now? You know what I'm saying? So,
but before we go on further, King, I have to say it goes back to your point too. Because we haven't had consistent starting lineup enough to we can't even question, like, the things that you're saying. People can't even question what moves that Casey is making just based on the fact that we haven't had a solidified lineup or bench since the beginning of the season to be able to say, okay, why is he making this move? Honestly, in some cases, he don't have a choice but to try to make these moves because we're missing a player. Player's been hurt. we've been dealing with the COVID situation, and it's been up and down to where we haven't been consistent enough. I would like to see, if I can see, like you said, the second half of the season where we got our starting five, like a consistent 10 games, and see how he manages that way. Then those assessments that people were making and things that you were referring to, King, I can be able to, see why they're chiming in on that, because you know we got to see what the lineup looks like, and also hopefully with that 10 game stretch, everybody's playing at a level of consistency.
And see, I want to speak to this real quick. What Joshua said. The problem with Killian being on the bench is he's our best facilitator right now. Listen, yes, the offense is much better when he's on the floor and when he's pushing the ball up because of his passing ability and finding guys open, creates flow. I get it. The biggest thing, let's just put it out there, until he starts to score points, the fan base is going to criticize it. Points is everything to the fan base for some reason.
But it's really not that, King. Because look, remember this, right? And I'll take it to you. Remember Rondo, right?
Yeah.
He was the Celtics' best facilitator, right?
Uh-huh.
But what happened when Kobe got on? Kobe backed up. I'm not letting you get to the rack. You're gonna have to shoot.
That's not the see, but this is the thing. That's not the problem with Killian. Killian can make the shots.
He's not making them.
The shots is the problem. Yeah. That's the thing. He's not taking the fan base. Literally all over Twitter, everywhere you look, they say, "I don't care if you miss the shot, take the shot."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And King, and I agree with you on that, and I believe that's the reason why he's not in at the moments in the fourth quarter and things like that. If he could be a facilitator but also be aggressive and take shots, even if he miss them, like you said, the fan base and people want to see him take the shot. But if he's going to be stagnated, and we need some offensive firepower to get back in the game or keep a lead or keep from getting blown out, it pushes him back and it pushes him towards the bench, because
let me
a facilitator is not really needed at that time. Go ahead.
And the reason why I brung up the Rondo thing was because when Kobe backed off Rondo and he was leaving him open for those jump shots, Rondo was passing the ball because he didn't want to shoot. But what was happening was people was playing off of him because it's like, look, I know you don't really want to shoot, and that's my thing with Killian too. Yeah, man. I mean, you gotta shoot the shot, shoot him. But you can see when he missed one, he don't want to shoot anymore. You can see that.
Yeah. Well, just last game when he airballed a 3-pointer from one side, and then in that same play he ran to the other side, he shot the 3 and he made it. So it's like I said, that's an up and down thing with him. But the difference between him and Rondo, if you back up off Killian, he's going to shoot it. Killian doesn't shoot open threes. That's just not what it is. He shoots too many contested threes, if you ask me, because of the shot clock running down, and they always end up in that bad situation. Mm-hmm. The problem is he does pass up on shots sometimes you feel like he can take in the same breath, because
yes. Yes.
You can't even compare that either, because Stanley Johnson just can't shoot. That's a different situation too. It's not that he can't make the shots. He's not.
Stanley Johnson couldn't shoot worth of nothing.
But we can't say that either, because we haven't seen that enough. But for me, I would like to see him being more aggressive, getting into the paint and getting his shots into the paint, because he's not a small guard. Him getting there, getting that shot, getting that if he gets that the 12-footer, the jumper, the floater, if he gets that going, the outside stuff will come, in my opinion. I just feel like he sits outside too much, and when he drives, he's kicking it. But if he can get that shot, that floater, that little jump shot, he can back down the guard. He's not like get that game going. I think the way his game is going, he's not putting himself in a position to be successful when it comes on the scoring test.
Say this: you gotta look at when you put in those situations where he's, say for instance, attacking the basket, is usually some big glaring threat right there waiting for him. So a player that Killian is, he's not a player that desires contact. You know what I'm saying? He's just not. So what he's going to elect to do is pass the ball. Bringing in a guy like Bobo can help that situation because they can't commit to the guard that's driving to the basket as much. So that's been also another problem with the Pistons because you got a defense that can commit to your guy that's attacking the basket. Unless you're just a freak super athlete like Diallo, you're gonna have some issues sometime. We've seen it with not only Killian Cade, we've seen it with Saban Lee at times where they attack the basket.
Killian got too many knots, man. He got too many
Like I
knots
said,
going on.
he ain't from the streets of the Dallas or Chicago or somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no contact, type of guy.
Where his French self need to grow some wee-wees, man, and get going.
Yeah, because like I said, that's not what he does. So like I said, it's something that they're gonna have to try to get him to develop, man, is the knack to get to the basket. And he can make the free throws. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You got to get the free throws though. You need
and that's another thing, like you said with him, because I know in critical times, like at the end of the game against Orlando, they brought him in with the 22 seconds left because he's one of the better free throw shooters on the team. That's a thing that can get him going. Is just if you even don't make the shot, draw the fouls, get your free throw line. That will get your confidence up because you're getting your shots in. Things like that. Now, and I'm pretty sure this is stuff that's been coached, this is stuff that's been practiced with him. We just got to see it. And then maybe, like I said, going to free agency, like I said, we need to put him back, let him sit a little bit and come in where he doesn't have to have the pressure. Let's not put the pressure on him. Let him come in with a second team where he can be the facilitator and get his stuff going. So eventually he can get back into that, start lineup. I think we don't want to crush his, with him being young, we don't want to crush him and lose him if we don't have to. Like a lot of these players, these young players come in and they push them into the starting lineup and they're not ready. And instead of keeping them on and developing them, they're cutting them. They're sending them off somewhere else and they lose confidence. Let's not make this young man lose his confidence when there's other opportunities there that he can learn from, in my opinion.
He should have started on the bench. His career should have started on the bench. He should have never.
And that's what I was just about to say because if you look at Killian now and what he's going through, but then if you fast forward it, does it kind of look Ben Simmons is to you? Because what's one of the things with Ben Simmons? Shoot the ball.
No. Well, pump your brakes. Now, Killian ain't that bad. He ain't that bad,
bro.
But he ain't that good either because Ben Simmons came in being really, really good.
What I'm saying is when you got somebody out there, like let's just say 24, 30 minutes or whatever. I mean, and you shot 6 shots out of the whole game or something like that. It's like I just think like I say, I think if he's on that bench, it wouldn't be so much to be like, oh wow, man, like get your shots up. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think, I just think because I mean, if you like I said, if you look at Ben Simmons, I mean, great facilitator and all of that, right? But he'll pass it before he shoot it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of we don't know with Killian. It's like we don't know what his thing is.
Killian's young right now. I'm just saying. I just think, like you said, we get a veteran guard, or even bring in like an assistant or something, man. Like go get one of these guys that play guard in the league, put them on the coaching staff or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, something like that.
I told y'all the other day I ain't like the Pistons assistants, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, listen, if we in that developing stage, we're seeing where he's at. Like I said, take a step back. Like I always go with this example. Look at Jordan Poole over there in Golden State. He took a step back, went down into the G League, got his game together, came in because of injuries, took advantage of the situation, and he's putting himself in a great position to get paid or get in the start lineup or a lot of things coming his way because they didn't give up on him. He had to take a step back, and there's nothing wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying okay, let him take a step back and go down to G League and dominate them G League dudes. That could build his confidence up. Like a lot of you seen when with McGruder and Saban Lee going down there dropping 40 buckets on guys. It's like let that confidence brew up to see that shot go in multiple times and he's going crazy on them guys and then bring them back up. Let's and I think a lot of the problem with Killian and with what the Pistons are doing and the issue with the fan base is gonna come back to where the position he was drafted in. And I think the pressure of drafting him at that position and the players that came behind him, especially when you see Cole Anthony come in here and was doing his thing.
Forget
You know,
Cole Anthony. I appreciate what he said about being drafted
that
to Detroit.
that was your
I ain't
boy though,
riding with
man.
nah,
That was
I
your
ain't
boy.
riding with him no more.
That
He a
was your
op
boy.
now.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
just and I
no.
think that's where the pressure is coming in. That is the position that he was drafted. He was a lottery pick that most people, most fans, the fan base, anytime you get a lottery pick, you're expecting uh above expectations than you would with somebody in the back of the draft.
So what do you do at for instance, you bring in a veteran point guard, and let's just get this one out. Is Cade a point guard?
He's
Yeah,
like that combo guard, man.
yeah.
He's a combo guard.
I just think he's a a scoring guard that can,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, and I'm just with me thinking about it, I believe if we don't even bring in a point guard or like we could have Cade at the point guard, bring in a
Huh?
shooting guard, and bring Killian in as the point guard. It's like we're not giving up on Killian. It's like Killian could be that great sixth man.
I don't even talk about that no more. We all agree on
No,
Cade.
no, I'm just saying. I'm just bringing in when you mention Cade being the guard. I'm thinking like okay, if we leave him let him do the point guard role, bring in bring in a shooting guard at the position, or move Sadiq Bey to the shooting and bring in like you said the big man. That combination it just got me rolling that to where if we need to, we got somebody that can play the point guard. It's not necessarily that we have to have Killian in to start. If we bring in a guard or we bring in another big man and move the guys in their proper positions and have Killian come off the bench, that could be a great factor too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You,
I don't
you,
know if Cade is ready to play full-time point guard right now. I don't.
No, not this year. Maybe next year though.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
So they probably bring in a veteran point guard if they decide to go that route. Like I said, who do you bring in at point guard right now that could help? That would be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? It's like I already looked at free agency. The upcoming free agency. It's like who do you bring in at guard? You know what I'm saying?
go get Colin Sexton.
Yeah, Cleveland not letting that man go. But hey,
They
uh,
healthy
uh,
too.
uh Dennis Schroeder. He only signed that 1 year deal with
I mean, for the right price,
Boston.
sure. But
He's at the veteran stage. He's proven himself to where he can make some things happen. He can shoot a little bit.
we can
I
bring in Reggie Jackson.
bring him back. I don't know. Reggie gonna have to run a fade before he able to get back in Detroit, man. He gonna have to run a fade. But
You know,
yeah.
You know who I was thinking? I was thinking about Sacramento, and this is to kind of say what you were saying, Randy. Because I mean, Willie Wood, you was talking about because he's a lottery pick. That mean he had to start. But if you look at Sacramento, man, like they have a two guard system or two backcourt system. Where they
Mm-hmm.
got Davion Mitchell and Buddy Hill, who was both lottery picks, but they both coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, they are blessed with the backcourt,
Shooting. Yeah.
people that they have or whatever the case is. But to me, I just feel just because you was drafted at a lottery pick don't mean you just got to be thrown right into the starting lineup. A lot of people ain't even ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never forget, and this one just always just baffles me, man. When Marvin Williams got drafted coming out of North Carolina, this man was coming off the bench and he got drafted in the lottery and they started this man in the NBA. He didn't
Oh,
even start in college. He didn't even start in college, dude. Like
That North
career
Carolina
done.
thing was deep, man. But but they
Yeah.
drafted him off of potential. You know, a lot of the lottery picks are drafted off of potential. Just
I
like
mean,
everybody was
yeah.
saying how Brandon Johns had the most lottery potential out of the players playing, but we just haven't seen it yet. I don't know where they've been watching, man.
Ugh,
I
I
don't,
know. Please don't bring them up. Right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize for the inconvenience of bringing that up. We're going to pray for our boys. We want them to recover and get themselves together. That's why we ain't been discussing, the basketball team. But eventually, I think we get back into it. But not to get off topic, but talking with the Pistons. I have to, like you said, me, of course, the fan base and everybody. We know this is that year where that to me the expectations was higher than what the outcome has been. For me, I had high expectations. I believe you guys also had high expectations that they
Nah,
was
nah.
they
How's
was going.
yours?
I didn't know. I don't think anybody would think it was going to be this bad.
No.
I don't think
I
that because
thought
I
I
didn't
thought
based
they
think.
off
was
of
gonna be
I
based
outside of the playoffs.
based
didn't
off
think
of
we
what
suffer.
they did last year, I thought that the next step was either getting into the playoffs, in my opinion, because they was really like you know, contending last year in these games. It's just they wasn't winning. So I'm thinking like they got a taste of how to be competitive, and it was going to take that next step and maybe either be outside the playoffs or get into the playoffs as a later seed. But that doesn't seem to be panning out
I
this
think
year.
it's we walked in the door with injuries. You know what I'm saying? First, Kane couldn't even play at first, obviously, because we had to wait for him to come back from injury. You know what I'm saying? So that takes away some of the chemistry there because, like I said, during the camp and everything else, he wasn't able to play. You know what I'm saying? So then we turn right around and Kelly Olynyk goes down. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's thing after thing that's just keeping this thing broken apart. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I just want to see these guys go out there and have a consistent chance to play with each other. You know what I'm saying? And adding Bobo right now is perfect timing for me. You know what I'm saying? Bring in Bobo. You got Olynyk that's about to, walk back into the door. Like I say, he probably a couple of games away from coming back up in here. So it's like I said, it's perfect timing for Bobo to come because I want to see something consistent out there. I'm tired of these mystery guys
Hmm.
getting in the game and you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of looking at Robinson out there running around with the basketball looking like this stuff. I'm tired of that.
but and then with the bowl ball coming in, it brings not only a spark to that Piston lineup, but it also brings a spark to the fan base as well because everybody was getting down, has been down on his Pistons team, but just him coming in and making that move, it brings a little more life back into the Pistons atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, man, Klay Thompson coming back in, man, he got 14 already, man. He
I
back
mean,
like he never left.
Big A being one of the biggest Klay Thompson fans on the planet, let's see what
Mhm.
you got to say, Big A.
Man, Klay Thompson
Man,
is back, man. He is back, and he's out there
Listen,
looking decent,
let me
looking pretty
tell
good,
y'all
man.
about this thing, man, with Big A and Klay Thompson, bro. Big A despises Klay
I
Thompson.
don't despise the man. I just don't
No,
like haters, bro.
No,
I
no,
don't like haters,
despises
bro.
Klay. Ask Big Willie. He despises Klay
he
Thompson.
thinks the
He,
worst of Klay Thompson
he
on
thinks
every scenario.
he
Like he
thinks
done made up
Klay
so many
Thompson.
scenarios of Klay Thompson
He think Klay Thompson is an absolute hater. He
of
thinks
his own teammate.
his own teammate Steph Curry. He think Klay Thompson is an absolute 100% dirty dog hater.
And we don't know why. We trying to figure out why. How he's like
Listen,
Klay
listen,
Thompson don't
listen.
even talk.
Listen. This what I was always taught, right? My granddad always told me. He said, "Don't pay attention to the people that's clapping for you. Pay attention to the people that's not clapping for you." If listen, if one of y'all was to get an MVP award, I'm gonna be split star right there next to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be, what Biggie was saying about his man on missing you. He was saying, man, when you get on, man, that's me. I'm not gonna be back there. My man's got the MVP award, and I'm like this.
And just like that, the theory was born.
Listen,
and it's been growing and growing.
Body language tells you everything. Everything. I'm
But
telling you.
maybe that's just how the
Listen.
guy is.
No, listen, man. I don't want to hear
his
that, bro.
expressions haven't changed in the past 10 years. It's like
he's literally a
hey, let me ask you this. Tonight, Steph Curry was wearing Klay Thompson jersey because he returned. How many times Klay Thompson wore a Steph Curry jersey when he returned from injury?
we don't know. We don't pay him.
You don't know because he ain't did it. Stop trying to make excuses for him.
Why does he have to do it? That's not his character.
How do you know?
That's not his character.
You ain't watched every Warriors game. How you
Not
know?
at all. Not at all.
It would be made. Listen, it would be made. It would be if he did something like that, we would know about it, just like we knew Steph Curry did it tonight.
But the scope on Steph Curry is more than it would be on Klay Thompson. We don't know what Klay Thompson did because he's that quiet assassin in the background that don't speak.
Okay.
And the fact that he ain't jumping through hula hoops and
the whole team wore it. It wasn't that special.
I know they did. I'm just saying Steph did it. What I'm saying is,
if the whole team wear a shirt for Steph Curry, that Klay Thompson wear a black tee.
Oh, he ain't wearing it. He ain't gonna wear it. And look, and if he do wear it, it's gonna be a hoodie over it.
Oh my life!
I'm telling you, man.
Y'all see what we had to deal with this when we trying to figure out what did Klay Thompson do to you?
I told you, bro.
He got going earlier today, man. It was the most hilarious thing.
Listen, I'm telling you, bro. Listen, I can spot a hater. I can smell the hate coming out of people, man. That's why I be like, oh no, hater to the left, I'm going right. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. Listen. If y'all took a picture, man, and I seen a bunch of people, I'll be like, hey, watch dude in the back right there. He ain't happy for you, man. I'm telling you, man.
Man,
I don't know that a light skinned brother hating on a light skinned brother. That's not usually they repertoire, I'm
telling you, bro. Listen, all I want, right? When the Warriors behind the scene come out 20 years later, hey, when we big on ESPN, I want y'all to see, I want my credit live on TV. That's all I'm asking. Can I get that? Can I get that out of y'all too?
Oh, we give it because it's gonna be made up. So
I just want
Big A think Klay Thompson is gonna pull a Scottie Pippen move. That's what he's saying right now.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. You could just tell. I'm telling you, could just tell, bro, because I just see it, bro. And I forgot who was saying it, bro. When he got into it with somebody not too long ago, and the dude like, that's why you always hurt, because you always got something bad to say about people. I forgot who he was arguing with when he was broadcasting that game, man. I'm telling you.
He was speaking the truth. But anywho, let's get a little final thoughts on this Pistons real quick. What you got? Little final thoughts, Kane, man.
Hey, man, let's just go into this week, man, and see what we can get out of these young kids, and hopefully we get an opportunity to see Bobo soon as they get everything squared away, and hopefully he can turn out to be what we think. So yeah,
Big A, what's your scope, man?
If Klay Thompson ever comes to the D, man, that man gonna have to sit down and talk before he come in my city. Let him know straight up.
Okay,
hey man, I'm letting him know. Hey, bro, don't bring that hating crap up in the city. Nah, he is a hater though.
He gonna be like a baby. He gonna tell you he got to take you nowhere.
Hey, okay.
Listen, for me, I just want to see the Pistons get healthy. If everybody can get healthy, get some playing time going, that's what I look forward to. Like I said, seeing them start lining up in a consistent stretch would be nice. I know we're not where we thought we'd be, but just to see these guys get healthy and get a good stretch in would definitely be something we look forward to. So I think it's time to switch up because I actually do want to address them hardball questions and the Michigan questions.
I'm ready.
We're going to get into that next, man. We're going to get that Wolverine talk next, for real.
W3 Kings in the building at Culture Detroit.
Working hard. working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard, yeah, yeah. Working hard, working hard.
Hey, man, why don't you jump this one off, man?
Hey, listen. Uh, yeah, we didn't get the outcome we wanted, against Georgia, right?
Mhm.
You know, but listen, team overachieved, man. At the beginning of the season, nobody could sit up here and say that they saw us getting to this point, But let's. I want to get right into the Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh ain't going nowhere.
That we do this all the time, bro.
Listen, every year it comes up to Jim Harbaugh, but the only thing that's different from this time, Jim Harbaugh is using this to his advantage. And you say, well, Big A, what the heck are you talking about, man? You just came off of telling us the truth about Klay Thompson, man. You're always speaking that truth. You're a prophecy. So where we going with the Jim Harbaugh thing? So listen, Jim Harbaugh has leverage. Chuck Brewer, see Chuck, you right back on my side. You right back on my side. But, and this was something that me and Big Willie was talking about, right? So now that Michigan has made it to this level, it's time for us to it's time for us to get to the next level. And us getting to that next level is what Jim Harbaugh has brought to the table is he wants us to be aggressive with the NIL deals, like the SEC. He wants less red tape for transfers and getting into the school. And he also want more money for his assistants so he don't have to keep running through assistants. You know what I'm saying? So, this talk about Jim Harbaugh going to the league and all of that, this is great for him because he understands, look, if you want me to go, if everybody haven't been paying attention to the recruiting, you have to pay attention to what Texas A&M did, which has Nick Saban crying right now, which has
Mhm.
Kirby Smart crying right now. And big news, Texas A&M defensive line coach just followed Jim Harbaugh. He's the star recruiter for Texas A&M. He's the reason why Texas A&M is in the position where they're at with all of these recruits and these NIL deals.
Mhm.
So, we just lost our defensive line coach.
Mhm.
And like I say, this just plays into Harbaugh's hand. Hey, man, you don't want me to go to the league, Michigan? Look, I need y'all to open up more money for my assistants. We got to get creative with these NIL deals. It's no longer just prestige of a school, because if that was the case, Texas A&M wouldn't have 6 5-stars right now, probably about to get a 7. Just broke the record for highest rated recruiting class.
Texas A&M ain't got the prestige as Michigan does, so
Not
yeah,
at all.
not
Not
at
at
all.
all. Not at all. So that's why Harbaugh is letting this talk go. It's the leverage.
Mhm.
Harbaugh is, because right now this plays into his favor.
Yep.
Look, I did everything I was supposed to do. Yeah, hey, made the college football playoffs. We didn't get the outcome that we need. But guess what? I need y'all to allow me to put these NIL deals out here in place. I need y'all to allow me to pay my assistants more money. I need y'all to loosen this red tape, man. Like,
Mhm.
I'm losing recruits who want to come here, but there's so much red tape that they can't get in. You know what I'm saying? So this is a great thing. Because listen, if there is truly a threat of Harbaugh going to the league, listen, he told the players he was entertaining these deals. Why do you think he told that? Harbaugh is playing chess, not checkers. Because look, if it was truly a threat of him going to the league, we'll be seeing a bunch of decommitments. One thing about it, Harbaugh's a player's coach, and I see him as being truthful and honest. If he was going to the league, he would have told the players.
Mm.
But what he did tell them, hey, you're going to hear reports that, hey, I'm entertaining deals. And this is the reason why. Because I want to bring these NIL deals in here. I want to get more money for the assistants, and I want to loosen this red tape. So Harbaugh is not going anywhere. If anything, this does great for him. And he's using it to his advantage. He earned it.
And to jump in on that, the best thing I believe that did happen to Harbaugh is that restructuring of his contract and getting
Oh,
that
most
contract
definitely.
extension, because it left wiggle room for either if he was going to succeed or if he was going to fail. It wasn't going to hurt Michigan or was it going to hurt Harbaugh. That was the great thing about them restructuring his contract and not signing the extension. So the extension wasn't for more money. The extension was for the time. Of course, it gave him a escape clause as well. But like you said, Michigan did overachieve by most because they wasn't expected to be there, and even being in the college football playoff, in which we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but we were all disappointed in the outcome. Even if it was to lose, we wasn't expecting it to be like that. Michigan got out at every position. They got outplayed, outcoached, out everything in that game. Something that none of us wanted to see, and it was hard to stomach to see our team get really like took it to the woodshed like that. But that to me was a good thing because it showed where we're at and where we need to be to get to that next level. And I've been saying this since beginning of a broadcast. In order for us to get to that next level, we have to have that next level type of quarterback, in which we all believe that we have that in
There ain't no
JJ
believe. We
and
got
JJ
that.
McCarthy. We gotta say believe right now because we gotta see him play next year. And
It should
watching
be.
that game, you saw McNamara's ceiling. He's good enough to get us through the Big Ten. He's good enough to manage the team. But if we got a chance, if we're going to have a chance to win, we need that extraordinary type of quarterback. Because if you look throughout the last several years of the college football playoff, you got the number one draft
Mobile
picks,
quarterbacks.
mobile
Mobile
quarterbacks
quarterbacks.
doing extraordinary things to win. Because you got to against these teams. You see what Burrow did. Burrow came out of nowhere, but Burrow had the best, they said arguably the best college football season out of any quarterback. It takes that to win. You seen what Tua did. You seen what the young guy doing in Alabama now and what he did against Georgia,
You seen
which
what
made us
Trevor Lawrence
believe
did.
Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. You seeing what these guys doing, and Bryce Young made us believe that Michigan had a chance against Georgia because the way that he played against Georgia. So we're definitely at that. We need to get to that next level. And like you said, just dealing with this NIL situation, these players, they're basically signing free agency deals going. This is not no longer I'm going to recruit. I'm going to this particular school. They're basically going in to see what school offers them the best NIL deal.
Can't blame him.
And you can't blame them because listen, I'm gonna go in. I could play. They're basically saying, listen, I don't have to sit behind nobody. I can go somewhere and get a deal and play almost right away. Or if I don't play right away, I could go somewhere where I can play right away and also get a deal. I'm not starving. I'm not waiting to play. It opens up a plethora of options for these young guys to come in to do things. And like you said, there was a report with Nick Saban and Kirk Smart saying there need to be regulations because it kind of levels their playing field because all these other schools that couldn't get the recruits but got deep pockets. It's starting to turn this table because you see in Texas A&M, they said Texas A&M got the highest rated recruiting class ever. Who is Texas A&M? What has Texas A&M ever really done in the college football realm to make them that prominent of a recruiting
But
bed?
one thing you got to remember though, Big Willie, Texas A&M is like the #1 engineering school in the country. Well, they got money.
Oh well,
They
that's what
got
I mean.
money.
They got money,
They
but
got the money.
before the money came a factor, especially with the NIL, that's
Right,
really
right.
you're seeing what that transition to, and which is going to cause these higher schools that was able. I mean, let's be honest. We know these kids was out there. They was throwing these guys cash
Well,
anyway.
Alabama been doing NIL deals.
We know that they had Alabama brought the whole Tua family over from Hawaii, bought them a
No,
house
no, no. His daddy found a job just in Tuscaloosa
just
at the time that his son was going to Alabama.
and but we know
Right, right.
Fisher over there texting them. He said, "Well, we've been doing NIL
Yeah,
deals.
he did. He did.
It's
He did.
basically just y'all just legalize it. Basically, they just legalize weed for these players. Basically, they just
Yeah,
and
Jimbo came out and said it. We've been doing this.
you know, and which to me, I feel that just thinking about what's happening now, I think because of these NIL deals that they have now, and these guys get paid for this likeness, I think there should be some rights. There should be some wrongs that should be made right with these players that where we got banners lost and trophies took for these guys getting trying to get paid.
No.
You don't think that should be rectified now? Not that it's legal. Now that weed is legal, can we get these guys out of prison that's been in jail for selling weed that's legal now?
Because if you saying that, then Big Willie, you okay with Louisville having that national championship that they got? So
I would have to be.
Be careful what you.
I would
ask
have
for.
to be. I mean, I'm because like I said, I'm giving the chance to give Reggie Bush his trophy back. But I gotta make that sacrifice because I'm ready to see the Final Four banners come back up in Michigan Stadium. The Fab Five need to get their praise. Can you just think about? Can you imagine if the NIL deals was out when the Fab Five was going? Can you imagine the type of things that they had going? They're the reason for the NIL deals because they brought millions based off their likeness back in the 90s, and it paved the way, in my opinion, paved the way for the guys now because from the shorts, the socks, the shoes, they copied everything the Fab Five did. Imagine if they would have had them deals back then. It'd have been a different outcome for the Fab Five and what the university had to go through, of course. But I could just imagine, the type of because there was, and I don't believe there still is a bigger market in college than the Fab Five was. I mean, you got them boys over in the UNLV, you got the Five Slammer Jammer, you got the 20, but there was no bigger. There has no anytime you think of college basketball history.
You think not just college, the league too. The Fab Five affected the league too.
You think of the Fab Five. They're basically the only team, like the Pistons and the Wolverines, the only team they really got a name for themselves. The Bad Boy Pistons and the Fab Five Michigan Wolverines. Marketing, that was great marketing right there that them guys back then could have got paid for. But it's different now. So
but when you got one person not being honest, man, and just thinking of themselves, you messed up history for other people, man.
Right, but like I said, if that was different then, that NIL situation was different then for them guys to get paid, it'd have been a different story. You wouldn't have to look out for self because everybody began to look out for them, like it is now.
Saying like I like Chris Webber and everything, but the thing is, it was selfish of what he did, man, because you affected the legacy of 4 other people also.
Yeah, him lying wasn't good for the rest of the guys, of course. But like you said, this is stuff that's with boosters and
and this is what homies do because you ain't seen now 4 of them talk bad about Chris Webber. They always
they're not gonna talk bad on their brother.
Yeah. They always smiled when they took pictures together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they always stuck by their brother, which which they should because he made a mistake. He was young. Yeah. Of course, you say you're young, that you're facing depression. So I kind of lied at the moment because I didn't want to get in trouble like we all do as a kid. Like I lied because I didn't want to get in trouble, but the truth came out. And you still got that that belt with but get back on topic with Michigan. Like you said, the Harbaugh situation. Of course, we face that every year since Harbaugh been at Michigan. It's always been Harbaugh talk going back to the NFL. Even with him having the bad, and I believe with him even having more bad seasons that he had at Michigan during the times where they was hard on Harbaugh. They would say, "Oh, yeah, he needs to jump back to the NFL because he's not being successful at Michigan." And
And,
now that he's been successful at Michigan, oh, he definitely needs to jump back in in the
listen,
NFL.
that just
So he lost his volume. King, what you think, man?
hello. Can y'all
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, you good now? Or he gotta get it. He gotta get his stuff back.
No, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you, man. Like I said, you know what? I heard that a lot myself about the Harbaugh should go back to the NFL because it's not working out for him in college. But
Yeah,
you know, like I said, I mean, you gotta expect this type of stuff to come. You know what I'm saying with the Harbaugh situation, especially you know, him being ex NFL, you know, coach. You know,
and has success. Yep.
yeah, that is, of course, you know, he's had success. So, you know, you got to expect these type of things. This is nothing new to us. You know what I'm saying? Nothing special or different. We know Harbaugh is going to be, you know, here with this team. It's just like, you know, Big A said, you know, he could definitely use that to his advantage, man. You know, like, right? Recruiting is everything. It's everything. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna go up and we're gonna be making it into the playoffs and we're going up against the big boys, man, we gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So,
And Ohio State is not slowing down no time soon either. They're not slowing down on recruiting. They're not slowing down on these players. So you know he has to he has to keep the the pedal to the metal, keep the gas going to be able to step because us as Michigan fans and the Michigan alumni, everybody got a taste of that victory of beating Ohio State, the college football playoff, the Big Ten championship. We got that taste, and now we're even more hungry than we ever been before because we got a taste of it, and we're going to continue to want to have that. That's the big advantage that Harbaugh has. Listen, y'all want to continue to have this taste of success. Y'all need to make sure we got things in place and things in order so that we can keep this going. Because y'all, as y'all can see, um,
We're there. But
we're
we need
there.
to
yeah,
And looking at going into, of course, we're seeing the guys, declaring for the draft. A couple of them, we knew was coming. A couple of them we was a little shocked about. And then we also got the transfer portal situation. But the ones that's coming back,
mm, mm.
the ones that's coming back, especially on offense, particularly on offense, it definitely gives you some excitement in going to next year that we really are ready for the season to start now if they could, because them young guys, especially watching them guys, look at them celebrate on that field after the Orange Bowl and let that build into them, into their systems where they can say, listen, I got a taste of this. I'm coming back next year. The young, fast, athletic guys, the top guys on our team going into next year. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what them guys is going to
You
do.
you you know one thing I want to say. I want to go back heart because I got a call. But it's mighty funny. Like you're saying, Big Willie. When Harbaugh having a good season, they're like, oh, he need to go to the league. When he having a bad season, oh, he most definitely got to go to the league. And usually that's the opposite because they'll say, well, if you can't get it done on the college level, you can't get it done in the pros. You know what I'm saying? But they know, he's been successful. You know what I'm saying? And I think with Harbaugh, and that's what I say, he's letting this play out for him because he realizes, look, we got here, right? But we want to be here. And that's hold that national championship. But listen, Michigan, you got to loosen up on some things. And we got to add some other things because it ain't just prestige that's getting you into these colleges now. Like you say, look at Texas A&M,
Yeah,
just broke the record, man. And on a
exactly.
prestige level of football, that ain't Texas A&M.
It's
It
not.
ain't.
Not to cut you
So
off, Big A, but Harold's right. Listen, I like what McNamara did this year, but we have to start JJ.
not to.
oh, Dude, we saw that.
We
Listen,
gotta
we
start
saw
JJ,
that when
man.
JJ moved the ball against Georgia, man. Come on, let's be real. That ain't
We
even.
gotta start.
Come
It's
on,
his
man.
time now, man. It's his time now. We gotta start JJ. I believe if he doesn't start, there will be an uprising
Yeah,
Oh,
he would.
like ever before
We've
because
been as patient as we could, bro.
and not McNamara, so he managed, he point guarded the thing, but we at that point to where we, like you said, we tasted this and we want to get to that next level.
and listen,
JJ, it is.
next year's schedule allows us at least 4 games to get all the wrinkles out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's not play with this thing, man. Let's not play. You know, we gotta, you know, I don't like counting nobody out, but our schedule ain't like how it was this one starting off, right? We got at least like 4 game cushion, and then I think we roll into Wisconsin, man. But I like what Harbaugh is doing. Listen, Michigan, we want to get this thing to that next level, man. Listen, NIL deals, we need to be aggressive on them. Loosen up that red tape to come into the school. We ain't saying just make it a Michigan State, Ohio State. We still want to hold some weight when it comes to a Michigan degree, though. But loosen it up, man. And listen, allocate more money for the assistants. I'm sorry. Some of the best assistants get paid like head coaches. That's why it was so hard for Venables to lead Clemson. He was already getting head coach money. And then another thing Harbaugh wanted to also, he wanted to expand the recruiting thing, not just 4 and 5 dudes. Ohio State, they got a whole system just
Mm-hmm.
for recruiting. See, it was a lot of things Michigan didn't have to do because we were Michigan. Let's be honest.
Yep.
We didn't have to have a lot of those things because it was Michigan. The program was built, but times are changing.
That
One thing,
NIL money deal changes a lot for
one thing
everybody.
I'll say, you got to credit. Harbaugh was the one who brought the Jordan thing in. That was all Harbaugh. So, but we got to continue. We got to continue it. And this whole NIL deal thing, that's a big thing. It ain't. I know Michigan. They did do the thing where we're like one of the first schools to start letting the kids get money off their jersey sales. You know what I'm saying? You can go to MD. You can get whoever jersey you want. Part of that to go to kid. But we have to do more. We have to set it up for these. I mean, it's gonna become a time. It's gonna come where these schools are gonna have to have an NIL department. Guarantee you. And Michigan, for the alumni base that we got, Michigan got. Come on, man. They got them pockets, man. So
Indeed. So, it's been over a little 2 hours, man. We've been chopping it up. Listen, we had to make up for some lost time, man. We missed you guys last week. So we're gonna get a little
right.
bit of final thoughts in, man, and then we're gonna wrap this thing on up, man. We don't want to keep you guys too long because we got work in the morning. So King, man, what's your final thoughts, man?
Final thoughts, man. Let's just see where this thing take us, man. Like I said, we're in a unique time where we're watching 4 of our franchises here in the city of Detroit come up together, man. So, like I said, let's just see where this thing takes us. See what the Pistons can do when they get healthy, and let's look forward to this draft with the Lions, and keep an eye on some of these reports that's flying around out here. So hopefully, the Jags do what we think they're going to do, and it gives the Lions a great opportunity to, make a good draft pick. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, let's just see how this thing unfolds, man. Keep our ears to it and enjoy this rest of the way.
Big A.
Yeah, like King say, man, we got all of our teams in the rebuilding, man. One thing I want, the Tigers, that's one thing I say to all our franchises the Red Wings, we know they always do it right. They do the build and rebuild, But
It's been
Pistons,
working over there.
yeah, Pistons and Lions, pay attention to the Tigers and the Red Wings. Draft well, hit free agency, make good trades.
Yep.
You're gonna be where you need to be. Uh, Another thing we want to remind y'all: hey, we getting everything together. We putting things in line. We Three Kings will be front and center at the NFL draft this year.
Indeed,
So
yes,
we
indeed.
will be going live. So y'all will be front row with us. You know, hopefully we be uh pulling my guy, our guy from UNM. You know,
And if not, please have our bond monies ready.
I'm getting me a Customs Lions jersey, Hutchinson. Nah, I'm telling you, I'm speaking it into fruition, and I'm getting it autographed there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna get back into giving out the cards. If we still owe you something, let us know. But we're gonna get back into that because I know we have people that's, hey, when you guys getting back into giving away cards, I know that's part of our show that people look forward to. I think we have done our due diligence. You know, we have asked every time we on here, hey, who do we still owe stuff to? Who do we still owe stuff to? So we're gonna get back into that. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting, man.
Indeed, indeed. So yeah, we're going into this off season. Of course, the Lions season is over. So we just, want to look forward to seeing, what the moves that they're going to make in the off season. Also want to see, the way of, the Pistons, how they're going to progress. Look forward to, you know, Michigan basketball. Hopefully, can get themselves together. Them young guys is in. They can finally get it going. We're
Yeah.
not down on them just yet, but it's kind of hard. But we look forward to that. I'm just, sports here in Michigan, of course, we're gonna look forward to all of that. But I know we're gonna have, a lot of off season coming up. So will say this, because we're gonna have these teams that are off, the Michigan football and Lions football, and that's really, a lot of our base, topics that we talk about. We're gonna need, be discussing other things, not just sports, but other topics. So, we ask you guys, like I said, continue to ask you guys, leave us comments and questions and things that we could talk about. We talk more not just about sports, but real life situations, family situations, anything. Like I said, ask us questions. We got our we all on all social media platforms, Instagram, uh, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. YouTube, wherever you guys go through, come in, like, subscribe, comment. Let's build these followers up. We're up to over
Yes.
215 subscribers on YouTube, and then, we're just going to grow from there. Like I said, we get back into the raffles and things of that nature. Look forward, to, like I said, chopping up with you guys always. But don't be afraid to, give us a shout out. Leave us a comment, a question, because like I said, we're going to need to fill some of this time with these teams being off, and we got a lot of other topics and discussions that we can get into. We more than just sports. We're family men
Oh,
as well.
right. I want to say something, right? Because as we're in here and I'm looking at a lot of the different groups, Pistons group, this guy just asked a very valid question. He said, "We get killed on rebounds every game, and y'all mad that we got a young prospect who's 7'2". Then another guy said, "True, we got killed in the paint. I out rebounded every game." Then his other guy said, "For Magruder." Then another guy said, "Yeah, super finesse." Listen, we gave a Magruder in the second round for a guy that's 7'2", has huge upside. What is the problem?
Correction. We gave up a bag of better made chips in the furnace.
Right,
Hey, no,
man.
listen,
What's
a
the
bag of better made
problem?
in virgins is good. Don't know. We gave up something a little bit worse than that. Now we can't knock the burners in
Yeah.
the better made.
We
What's
gave
the
up
problem?
nothing. We literally gave up
Right.
zero to get this guy. Nothing.
We
Magruder.
gave up Vienna sausages and a quarter juice.
Right.
But you know what the problem is? Because right away people go right to his stats. What part did you didn't understand? The man, he's playing behind Jokic.
He
Well,
has he
one thing.
has an opportunity.
One thing I always say with Detroit fans, man, we only watch Detroit sports. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Ah,
That situation over there in Denver. I mean, all these other fan bases realize obviously what happened over there, but
the
not in
Lakers
Detroit.
wanted him. The
Right?
Lakers wanted
Not in
him.
Detroit.
The Lakers want everybody. LeBron trying to get everybody over there. He can. Whatever. But anyway, listen. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up, man. We've been on, over 2 hours, man. Listen, we enjoyed you guys, man. Like I said, we love this, part of our day that we enjoy. We glad you guys enjoy being on with us. We look forward to upcoming weeks, more topics, more discussion, man. Rock with us. We look forward to like I said, we will be down there at the draft this year, so we getting that ready. If you guys gonna be there, let us know. If not, if y'all want us to do something, say something, see something, chop it up with us, man. We look forward to this stuff. So, um, you know, time is ending. Bedtime for the
How
kids,
many times
bedtime
you
for
gonna
me.
say bye, man?
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
We three kings,
Bye.
we are out. See y'all later. We out.